Welcome to the Shade Chronicles, an anthology-style podcast featuring short works of fiction and serial prose, specifically with a sci-fi and horror flavor.
Another louder rumble happens and the kitchen abruptly shakes. A few things fall to the floor. Francis sits up straight, begins to push away from the table with the intent to get off the chair and get away from what is going on in the kitchen. Before this can be completely registered with him, the floor under his feet sags and makes a loud cracking sound. Struggling to balance himself, Francis begins to spread his feet apart with the plan to move to the left and get away from the part of the floor he is standing on as it shifts and sags. With fear and astonishment, Francis reaches for his cell phone on the table. As he extends his old knees and gets 2 fingers on the phone, the floor disappears below him and he descends into the hole it has left down into the basement.
Rays of light emerged from the oblong shape the pattern defined. After a moment, a man jumped out of the light, followed by streaks of lightning that flashed past him and struck the wall above Ezekiel's head. Sparks rained down on Ezekiel as he quickly covered his face with his arms. The man, in the alley now, turned swiftly to face the light-covered opening in the wall and extended his arm, revealing what looked like a pistol of some sort, and fired several shots into the opening. The sound of the shots reverberated in the space of the alleyway. Then he waved his arm, sweeping it in a downward direction. The opening shrank in size, following the movement of the man's arm, to the point where it vanished, leaving him and Ezekiel in the dark alley alone.
The second before Julie quickly enters the lake, she can hear the cheers and yelling of support from her friends. As she goes under, the sounds quickly become muffled and the whoosh of the lake water fills her ears. Then she abruptly stops descending and feels pain as her thighs slam into something hard. Taking a quick inventory under the water, but still close enough to the surface to have some light, she realizes she has hit something. Or more specifically, she slid right into the back window, legs first, of a 1973 Buick Century Luxus, and she is now leaning over onto the roof as her right leg is stuck to the jagged edge of the car's back window.
He didn't notice the figure approaching him from behind. He didn't hear the footsteps in the wet grass or notice the presence of another person nearby. His focus was solely on the photo of Lizzie embedded in the stone of her grave marker. He nearly jumped when the stranger said softly, "She is a lovely girl. The photo is very flattering." "Do I know you?" Ted asked, trying to figure out why this person approached him here in the cemetery. No, sir, you do not. I do know you, though, and I am terribly sorry for your loss. Elizabeth was a wonderful person, and her life was so unfairly cut short. It is tragic. What if I told you I know who the killer is?" Ted reached down and pulled a name badge off the killer's coveralls. "Edmund Blackbull, eh? They call you Eddie for short? Who are you?" Blackbull answered, ignoring Ted's question. "Well, Eddie, I'm the father of a beautiful girl you killed 5 years ago when you came here and shot her and 11 other people in cold blood. And now I'm going to set things right." Ted racked around to the chamber of the assault rifle. "Now get up. We're going to play a little game."
Blinking to clear his vision to make sure he is seeing what is there, he sees a blurry form. The form begins to change to a more smoky and clearer shape that resembles a person. Even though it is somewhat transparent, the figure morphs into what's more like a female figure with long hair standing outside on the observation deck, facing away from him. When he is face to face with the ghostly woman who is inside the lighthouse now and 3 inches away from his face. She looks not at him but straight through him and screams in a loud whisper, "Show him." AC-21 slows his crawl through the ventilation system and then hesitates as he realizes he is over the conference meeting hub, since he can see light coming up a couple of feet ahead of him from a grate in the air duct. They are having a secret closed meeting about a crucial decision involving both of their planets and their inhabitants. While flying through space at Mach 7.89 speed, the shuttle begins to react to turbulent bouncing, dropping, and shifting, causing individuals on the shuttles to cautiously look around or down, and many to grip their support harness for security.
He sat across the table from her, anxiety building as he watched her eat the last bite of tiramisu. It was the conclusion of a $750 dinner at the best restaurant in town. Alex loved his wife Maggie with all of his heart. He did everything he could to make her happy for the first 13 years they had been together, and, up till now, He never quite got it right. Gehenna smiled at Alex, but it was not a warm, friendly smile, more ironic. He went on, "With my help, I can navigate you around the obstacles that stand in your way. Together, we can achieve the desires of your heart. You need only trust me and allow me to be your guide." He reached out and offered Alex his hand. Alex stood up and took it. When he did, a wave of something passed through him. What it was, he wasn't sure or could even describe. It was like a trembling, nervous feeling that had passed from his head to his toes in a flash and then was gone.